This is Real Life with Deb Waterbury, a real show for real people with real issues. And now, here's your host, Dr. Deb Waterbury.
Welcome to our next episode of Real Life with Deb Waterbury. We are doing a really short spiritual and then physical fitness series. Last week, Dee and I talked about spiritual fitness and what that looks like. And so this week, I'm talking to Shilo Anderson. So Shilo is a physical fitness expert. She has her own gym, and she was my trainer for a while. She still trains Alex, and she's, real gung-ho, whatever, into the fitness thing. Yeah. But you do a whole lot of other stuff. I mean, within fitness, it's not just training stuff. What are some of the things that you do?
Well, I mostly focus on fitness with women. I run a gym in my garage where you trained and where Alex trains. I also am the manager of the Sisterhood of the Shrinking Pants, which is a biannual women-only fitness group that focus on nutrition and fitness and just life-changing. It gives you the holistic overview.
And I think that's what I loved so much about working with you was that it is very holistic. Because you taught me about eating appropriately, and it's not just working out, it's literally everything about your lifestyle.
It is. It has to be. If you're not focusing on the mind, body, and spirit, none of them can work without the other. So you have to really connect all three. And nutrition is probably 80% of your health. So you can't out-exercise a bad diet. You can exercise yourself to death and not get the results you need. You might look better, but your overall health is never going to be impacted until you change your nutrition.
Yeah, and I don't know, this may not be right, but I don't even think you necessarily look better. I mean, depending on where you start from.
Right.
Because I know, even and myself, and then I've had friends as well, that nobody wants to change their diet because they don't want to give up what you like to eat. Eating is fun. That's why I know we get to do that in heaven forever and never have to worry about this. But we don't want to give that up. And I know that, if you don't change that, you get stronger.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of muscle underneath that still layer of fat that you never got rid of because you're not dieting appropriately. Right. And it's not even dieting, because I hate using that word,
It's lifestyle change.
Yes.
It's just choosing to fuel your body the way it needs to be fueled to do whatever.
And not deprivation. You're not depriving yourself of anything.
I eat so much food, like all day, constantly. But if you're eating whole, real foods that God made from the ground, you're not going to deprive yourself ever.
Right.
You can eat as much as you want.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing, especially here in America. I mean, I just got back from Africa, and people always ask me, "Oh, what did you have to eat?" Well, the thing is when I'm there, we're eating organic, chicken, meat, vegetables, stuff that's fruit, things that are, because there's no preservatives.
Right.
Because we're in a third world country. And so I eat really well while I'm there.
Yeah.
It's here in America I have such a hard time because of the foods and the way that we process them.
Yeah.
And even in our fruits and vegetables, if you're not careful, you're getting so many additives.
Totally.
So it really is, I think, a whole lifestyle change, which is what you really focus on.
It is. Yeah. And once you start making the changes, I think where people run into problems is they feel like they have to just switch like that, and it's overnight, and I have to do it this certain way, and really it's progressive. And you go through different seasons in your life where you're going to kind of go like this, but it's just the consistency. So you might have a day where you eat terrible, and that might just be something you do, and you have to remind yourself, pull back, and go back to the way you should be eating.
Yes.
And not just let it drag you down into this really bad
and isn't that the way that goes too? Because I don't know about anybody else, but like around Christmas time, when all you start with Thanksgiving and you're already gearing yourself up because you've eaten like a pig on Thanksgiving, and then you just keep going, and then you just figure, whatever, I've already thrown it away, and then before you know it, you're spiraled right back down.
Right.
And it really is about, it's okay to mess up.
It is,
but just get back.
Just get back. The consistency is key with working out, with eating, with all of it. Even just I know we had talked about like spiritually what that means for you. You have to stay consistent in your spiritual walk too. It all is connected.
Yes.
So if you're eating right, you're going to want to work out because you feel better.
Yes.
And if you're working out, you're going to want to eat right because you don't want to waste the hour and a half you just spent sweating your life away.
Right, right.
And really, when you have those two things together, you're more motivated in every area of your life.
Absolutely.
In your occupation, whether you're a mother or a father or I notice myself, I want to clean my house more when I'm working out and eating right, because you feel better. You're not tired. You're not weighed down by, extra weight or just health issues or whatever.
Right. And it's an emotional thing too. I mean, I often find that when I'm not working out, I'm not eating right, I don't even want to see people. I mean, I want to just stay in my house. I don't want to go anywhere because I just feel gross and don't really want to be around anybody. When I feel good about myself, when I've eaten properly and worked out, then I'm much more apt to want to go out in public.
It's so true. And there's study after study that shows that exercise is the biggest contributor to helping depression and anxiety and a lot of emotional health issues.
Right.
If you're moving your body, you're releasing endorphins, and who doesn't want that? It really does help. Depression can be hugely impacted by just moving your body and nutrition.
Very good. So, Shilo, what do you think is, because I know you deal mostly with women, what is the biggest reason women don't work out?
They say they don't have time.
Yeah.
They say, I'm too busy. I have this and that. And
pretty much the same excuse I hear from why I don't read my Bible. It's the same thing. I don't have time. It's funny how busy we all are.
We're all busy, all too busy. But you know what? When you start to make time for those things and make time to take care of yourself, it's so crazy how much more time you have to do everything else. It just appears somehow.
It is. And it's really priorities, isn't it? Because you know what? I bet you if you don't think you have time, you'd have time for something that you think that you really want to do or go to a movie with somebody or whatever. You would find time for that. It's really and truly understanding you have the time. You just got to make it.
And it's, especially for me as a mom, I think it's all about integrating it into what I'm already doing, what already is keeping me busy. So I go to the park with my kids and I don't just sit there and watch them. I run around with them, or I make them do a workout with me. I use the park bench. I use the resources that are there and just do a quick 20-minute body weight workout. You can do that and still kill two birds with one stone. So,
well, in a minute, I'm going to ask you to show us something like that, just because I think it'd be helpful to be able, people to understand. And you hit on something really good, and it's really important, I think, especially for women. And I know I've been in that position where you just think, ugh, it's too daunting. Because you think of working out for an hour and a half. And for most people who haven't been working out consistently, that seems like a large hunk of time. And but the truth is you work up to that. You don't start there. And sometimes you don't even work up to that. You may never do that, but that's not necessary, right?
It's not. No, you can get a lot done in 20 minutes. You
it's
really
amazing,
can. And again, it's about the consistency and staying with it, not just doing, I'll do 20 minutes this week and then let 3 weeks go by and do nothing. You just 20 minutes 4 times a week.
It's a commitment, but it's a commitment that makes you that much happier.
It is. When you're disciplined and you have self-control, which is one of the fruits of the Spirit that nobody wants to talk about, it makes a huge difference in everything. So it is about waking up, even if you have to put it in your calendar, like, this is my time to take care of me. And again, as a mom, I think we don't prioritize ourselves. It's impossible. Our kids and our husbands and our family come first.
And they're sporadic.
Yes. And it is really hard to say, I need to take this time for myself, because we feel selfish and have mom guilt and all these things that we shouldn't. But you have to take the time for yourself. You have to take care of yourself, because if you're not taking care of you, you can't take care of anybody else.
Amen. That's exactly right.
It's so important just to 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you can. And however you can integrate it, you have to do it.
And that really does go, bleeds over into the spiritual aspect, because this is a temple. And this is my responsibility. This body is my responsibility.
It is.
And it was given to me to glorify God, but it's my responsibility to take care of it.
It is.
And so I'm not sure that there's not a lot of accountability we will show when we meet the Lord about how well we took care of the temple that He gave us. So there is, the responsibility to make the time is so important, but it's also important because it does make you feel better, and it's an example to your children. It can be an example to your friends, to your families, whatever. But for the most part, it really is a spiritual, emotional thing. So Shilo, what I want to talk about is 2 different things. First off, what if you could just tell anybody anything first in terms of diet? What would be the number one piece of advice you would give women about proper nutrition, or a first step that they could take, or something that you would consider one of the most important things?
It's hard to narrow it down just to one, but just to simplify it, I think that if you can't pronounce the ingredients, don't eat it. Is like a number one thing. If it's some crazy long word, it shouldn't be like that. Food should be chicken. It should be broccoli. It should be potatoes. Those should be the only ingredients. Milk, salt, whatever. You can make really simple food taste delicious with seasoning. So really just keeping everything simple. Proteins, fats, carbs, keeping your portion sizes controlled, nothing crazy, but just keep it simple and start simple. You don't have to just like dive straight in and buy $300 worth of healthy groceries. Start replacing things as they run out with healthier options, and you'll just see the cascade start to happen. And, just remind yourself that you're worth feeding yourself good, nutritious food. You're worth that.
Yes.
It's not good for you to eat tons of sugar and horrible fats, and fat's good for you, but not bad fats. But that's not treating your temple and treating yourself with worth.
Right.
And you're worth that.
Very
and
good.
You'll feel so much better if you do.
Yes.
So it's just breaking out of that cycle.
And I love that you just said that you can do it gradually.
Yeah.
That you don't have to just go in, because organic food's expensive.
It is.
And you have to kind of pick and choose.
Yeah.
But it is so important just to do it gradually, do stuff a little bit at a time. I heard that old adage, never shop in the middle aisles of the grocery store. Try to shop on the outside aisles. It is so, there are just so many things that we eat.
Yeah.
I think that for one thing, I know that I had to go through a huge, because of a health issue, and this, that I had to change my entire diet to just kind of organic stuff, no gluten, no sugar, no dairy, all that stuff. And I did that for health reasons, because of a disease, but I'm telling you, the way I felt, the difference in the way my body felt, regardless of disease or anything else, but just energy level and the way I felt when I started putting the right kinds of things in my body.
Totally.
The weight coming off was a great thing, but my goodness, just the difference in the way I felt.
And what's really crazy to think is a lot of people have been raised eating an Americanized diet, a really horrible diet, and they have never had the opportunity to know how great they can feel.
Yes.
That is their normal. You might feel terrible and think that I feel great. You don't.
You don't, but you don't know any different.
You don't know any different.
Yes.
So
that was me. I didn't know how bad I felt.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't feel good because of this other thing, but I had no idea how bad I felt until I felt really good.
Yeah. You have to give yourself the chance to do it. And I think meal prepping is huge.
It is big.
Huge.
Because once you're hungry, you'll eat anything.
Yes. It's not that hard. It's really not taking a day or half a day just to get all the meals prepared, and it saves you so much time. I think that, again, that plays into the holistic approach. When you're meal prepping and exercising and eating right, you're so much better at time management.
Yes.
You really are.
Well, you become more purposeful.
You do.
Okay, so before we leave, I do want to give them some ideas about, if an easy exercise that any mom could do.
Yeah.
No matter where she is, to get started. Because, I know I'm going to have a lot of people who are watching who are good in their physical fitness, but then some who just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And think that they have to go and be, Susie Gym girl in order to be able to be this physically fit person. But it really isn't that at all.
No.
So what would you tell them? What would you show them?
I would tell them to start first thing in the morning, right when you get out of bed. Pick 3 movements. So they can be whatever you want: sit-ups, push-ups, burpees, squats, lunges. Pick something out of those easy body weight movements.
Yes.
Pick your reps, so like 10 squats, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and do it for 10 minutes straight. For 10 minutes straight. And just see what happens.
Yeah.
Stay consistent. Do it
in
every
10
day.
minutes, anybody can do 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 minutes is not, it'll feel really long.
It'll feel really long at first, but then once you keep doing it, you're gonna feel great, and you're gonna want to add the time.
Yes.
Like, you don't think so the first couple days. You're gonna be like, I hate Shilo and Dr. Deb so much.
I said I hate Shilo many times.
She did. But once you stay consistent and you start to feel the benefits, once you push past that threshold, you're gonna feel so much better, and you're gonna want to add time.
And one of my nemesis exercises has always been push-ups. I know you're thinking I was gonna say burpees. I still hate those, but was push-ups, because I just had no upper body strength whatsoever, and I always felt like such a loser trying to do them. But I just, did what you were talking about and just did a couple every morning.
Yeah.
And now, every single morning when I work out, that's my warm up is to do 30 push-ups, 30 actual push-ups.
Yeah.
I love doing those, and they are not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time. It didn't happen even in a couple of weeks. We're talking months and months and months of my just doing a couple girl sit-ups, girl push-ups for a while, and then moving in, and you do it gradually. There are no quick fixes there.
No, and you probably had days when you were doing that where it was harder than others. And that's when you have to push through. That's when you have to remind yourself, like, this is just a bad day. I'm not supposed to give up because of that. Right. And consistency, like I think I've said it 50 times in this little video, but it's
kind of like anything else, like you said, in your spiritual walk, what you do with your children, nothing happens if you're not consistent.
Right.
And so there has to be this, and I believe in that your motivation cannot be to please someone else.
Right.
Your motivation cannot be so that you look like that picture in the magazine.
Exactly.
You really need to have the motivation about your own health, your own self-esteem, that you're feeling good about you, so that you can be the best you for your children, for your husband, for your work, for everybody around you. So, Shilo, I would I don't know how much of this you'd like to give, but if you have any information in terms of how people can get in touch with you, if they wanted to talk to you more about this or know more about the traveling pants.
Sisterhood of the Shrinking Pants. Yes.
They're not traveling, they're shrinking.
Yes.
Sorry.
They're shrinking. We hope. Instagram, Shilo Anderson Fitness. You can find me on Facebook under Shilo Anderson.
And in that you can find the information, if you're in the Tucson area in particular, about the shrinking pants, because that is a really, you have a lot of women who join that program.
Yeah, we do about 150
and they have great
January.
results.
Great results.
It is a wonderful program. So if you're in the Tucson area and you want to get in touch with Shilo, please look for her at those places. And you can also, anywhere you can get in touch. The beauty of the internet. Well, thanks, Shilo.
Thank you,
and I don't
Dr.
hate
Deb.
you nearly as much as I used to. God bless y'all. Hope you got some stuff from this. This is difficult stuff, ladies and men. I know it's hard, but we just move forth purposefully, just as we do with everything else. This is important. This is your temple. This is what God gave you. This is a gift, so we take care of that. Have a great day. We love you. Thank you for joining me today on this episode of Real Life with Deb Waterbury. I hope it's been a blessing to you as much as it was to me. If you want any of my books or information on articles or any of my speaking engagements, you can go to my website at debwaterbury.com. God bless you.